The Water and Sanitation Department is urging South Africans to continue using water sparingly, although the weekly report revealed there is an improvement in dam levels in some parts of the country. The country's average dam level is 93.4%, which has gone up compared to last year's report, which was on 85.2%. For more on this, I'm joined now by Sputnik Ratau, who speaks on behalf of the Department of Water and Sanitation. So a glimmer of good news, Sputnik, where, good news comes in drips and drabs, really, in as far as infrastructure for pipeline industries is concerned. So your assessment week on week is that in most provinces, bar 3 provinces, dam levels have increased.
And thank you very much for the opportunity. It is true that overall the dam levels, the national average has gone up, and it's around about steady and around just under 95% week on week, looking at the past 2 to 3 weeks. And you are correct that when you look at it in comparison to a year ago, we are much better than where we were. And obviously it would be because of the status of a number of provinces that over the previous rainy season, especially for the inland provinces, really did have sufficient downpours that were able to carry through into the dry winter season.
And Sputnik, a key conversation around this has to do with Nelson Mandela Bay, which just a few days ago, a week ago or so, was staring at what came to be known as day zero, when dam levels would reach a point where you really cannot pump water, and residents were already battling with water shortages in that area. What is the picture emerging in as far as it relates to that area in particular?
The situation is still dire, Thulasizwe. We still have to really tread on eggs around the situation there in Nelson Mandela Bay. We have seen a bit of an upsurge in the water supply system, the Algoa water supply system, and we have seen in particularly one of the rivers that, or rather one of the dams that has gone quite almost double the capacity that it was about a week ago. But those levels are still not something that we can do a song and dance about, because in that amount of water that is available in the system, we are still able to use roughly just under 3% of that water. So we still have a long way to go. We are working very hard. We have appreciated the fact that there has been a reduction in demand, which we still really know that we still have to go quite a way before we can come to a point of comfort. Because in the ultimate, we have to bring the demand to below 230 megaliters per day for the metro particularly. And as at about Wednesday, Thursday, we were still about 15 megaliters above at about 245, which is a huge amount of water. So we still have to do that, but there is work being done. We know that we are moving one of the barges in one of the dams to an area that has got more of the water so that we can pump even more of that. We are hoping on Monday that we can have the minister there and looking at some of the progress with regards to the water treatment works that can be able to put in an extra 70 megaliters into the system if all things go according to plan.
Yeah, and just about 2 weeks ago, the biggest extraction point for water to Nelson Mandela Bay, Mpofu Dam, the decision was taken to say they were going to stop extraction of water from there because the water levels had become that low that it was either going to damage the infrastructure or was not even worthwhile. What are some of the, I hear you mentioning the wastewater, the water treatment program in the longer term, but with that reality of resources such as Mpofu Dam that decision being taken about 2 weeks ago, what are some of the immediate interventions that I can go to Nelson Mandela Bay and pinpoint and say, here, the Department of Water and Sanitation is responding to the plight of residents?
Well, we must say that we have continued to abstract from Impofu Dam, although obviously at a very lower rate than what we would have been ideally wanting to do. Churchill Dam is the one that I was saying that we also went to during the course of this week to look at where things are. And yes, it is also in a very dire situation. When we were there with some of the journalists, I mean, looking at where normally and ordinarily the water level should have been and where the water is now, it was quite a crude wake-up call to say, what is it that we actually are looking at? But in essence, we are still going to, well, when your question was, what is it that is happening? Obviously, working together with the intervention team that is comprising of not just the department, but the metro, together with other role players. There are a number of things that we have put in place. We know that we have set up some collection points in certain areas of the metro, which are going to be servicing the communities. Those will have to be spread even over a larger area into some of the areas that are not being serviced to the utmost at the moment.
Yeah.
And we are also going to be going on with obviously, as we have spoken about Nooit Gedacht is not necessarily long-term, it is immediate. It is going to give us that 70 megaliters immediately. And therefore, it is part of what is going to be happening. But on Tuesday, then there's going to be a look at the medium to long-term projects that will make sure that we go into Nelson Mandela with more comfort.
All right, I've got to thank you for your time and your insights here on eNCA. That's Sputnik Ratau. He speaks on behalf of the Department of Water and Sanitation. A bit of good news about the water levels, the dam levels in most provinces have gone up slightly compared to last week. And in fact, compared to last year, quite significantly. Last year, we were talking average 85.2%. Last week, we were talking 93. In fact, right now we're talking at about 93.4% dam levels. But the situation in Nelson Mandela Bay continues to be an emergency, as you were hearing there from Sputnik Ratau.